we're just going to start a yang and a yin yoga session in a few minutes, and I'm just going to tell a few people that I'm online now as well, so everyone knows that we're going to start in about 5 minutes. So get ready. If you've got a bolster or a block, please do bring them on board as well. That will be great. I'm just going to shift this back so you can see me okay. Hope that's clear. Perfect. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you've had an amazing afternoon so far. Happy Earth Day. I'm just going to send a message to our... Hi, good evening everyone. I'm just going to be doing a live yang and yin yoga session via Slice Fitness in 5 minutes. Please do join me, as we would love to flow with you. So do join us. Thank you. Perfect. Okay, so we should be on board. Get comfortable. We're going to start off with a breathing exercise, then we're going to go into a meditation, and then we're going to start the flow. So we're going to do a dynamic flow, and then we're going to finish off with some yin poses that we'll hold for a few minutes. Okay. Make sure you have a bottle of water next to you. If you have a foam roller or a yoga wheel, we may do some slight open up, like back bends, if that's part of your practice. But if you don't, it's fine. We don't need to use that. I will be cueing you accordingly. But if you do have a bolster or even a cushion, just to sit on for a few minutes while we do the breathing exercise, it does help. And if you don't, then if you do have a towel, you can roll up as well. When we do the floor poses, it'll be great for some people like to rest their face on something comfortable whilst we're leaning forwards, because these poses do activate a lot of the muscles and the connective tissue, so it's great to have something as a prop. But otherwise, we create a pillow with our hands, and that's what I do anyway, so all good. Do get comfortable. I'm going to start shortly. I'm just going to wait for a few minutes. I just joined slightly earlier, so everyone can understand the structure for the class. Hi, welcome. We're going to start a yang and yin yoga session. Do grab a block if you have one, a bolster, cushion. We're going to start off with a mini meditation, a pranayama exercise. Yay! Hi everyone, welcome. We're going to be flowing shortly. Very excited to have you all on board. Happy Earth Day. I'm going to do a mini meditation for us to really synchronize with the breath and just to really ground our energy before we go into our amazing dynamic flow of the yang and the yin. So I'm very excited to do this. It's amazing outside. I haven't been out all day, but it's nice and bright. Yeah, and just been reflecting on memories being in nature. so I thought we'll do a meditation to take us away into some beautiful space. And then we'll start flowing. I'll just wait for a few more minutes. I think, let's have a look. Let's see the time. Okay, 2 more minutes, guys. I'm really sorry. We'll be starting very shortly. So just get comfortable. If you can get into a seated position, that will be great. So have a seat on a cushion or on your mat, cross-legged if you can. Just give me a second. Hi, welcome. Perfect. So come into a seated position as we start the pranayama exercise. So we're going to start off with a pranayama. Pranayama means breathing in Sanskrit, and the pranayama exercise we're going to do is Nadi Shodhana, which is the alternate nostril breath, which helps to balance both the masculine and the feminine sides of the brain. So we're going to be using our thumb and our ring finger. So depending on which hand you are going to be using, you can support your other arm. So if you're right-handed, support your other arm with your left hand, holding your elbow. Otherwise, you can just leave your hand just upright, which is great. And I'm going to cue you to do this. So this really helps to ground the energy and allows us to just come into a natural, grounded state. So if you're anxious, nervous, you've got anything important that you're feeling a bit restless, this exercise is very powerful in general. So I'm just going to start this now. Okay, perfect. So do come into a seated position, lengthening the spine, sitting upright. Okay, and we're going to start off by bringing the right or your left hand, and we're going to start by blocking the right nostril with your thumb. And we're going to inhale into the left nostril, so breathing in. Now I want you to block the left nostril with your ring finger, exhale out through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Plug the right nostril with your thumb and exhale out through the left. Inhale through the left. Block the left nostril and exhale out through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Plug the right nostril with the thumb and exhale out through the left nostril. Inhale through the left. Plug the left nostril with the ring finger, exhale out through the right nostril. Inhale through the right. Plug the right nostril with the thumb, exhale out through the left. Inhale through the left. Plug the left nostril with the ring finger and exhale out through the right. Inhale through the right. Plug the right nostril, exhale out through the left. One more time, inhale through the left. Plug the left nostril, exhale out through the right. Inhale through the right nostril. Plug the right nostril with the thumb and exhale out through the left. Now just come back to normal breathing, inhaling through both nostrils and exhaling out through the mouth, just regulating the breath. And you may find that one of the nostrils may have been more blocked than the other. This is normal, and that means one of your energies, either the masculine or the feminine, is more active. But this is just a really great exercise to do, just to ground the energy, as we've been sitting down all day, probably working at the desk, and we've just been a bit anxious of being inside all day. So this is a really great exercise to do in general throughout your day, and also before sleeping if you have problems sleeping as well. So that's very powerful. So just take a few deep inhalations through the nose, lengthening the spine, exhaling out through the mouth, making a sound, lion's breath. You can stick your tongue out if you want. Now on the inhale, inhaling through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. One more time. Exhale out through the mouth. And I want you just to close your eyes and just continue to focus on your breath, the inhalations through the nose and the exhalations out through the mouth. And just continue to do that. And I just want you to just visualize, take a moment to just visualize yourself in a bubble. So inhaling through the nose, lengthening the spine, really sitting up tall. Imagine this beautiful bubble. And just imagine yourself 1 year older than you are today. Imagine this beautiful bubble that's surrounding you as you float up into the sky, high above the forest, the ocean. And you're just floating above the clouds. And you're just floating away, overlooking all the beautiful earth that you're aware of. And just be aware of this universal life force energy that you have in your body. And just really connect with the breath, your soul, the energy that you use every day to breathe, to move, to run. And just continue to focus your breath and your visualization around the earth. Continuing to inhale through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. Continue the breath. Imagine now you're floating above the clouds, continuing your journey, and all you can see is the beautiful trees beneath you and the oceans. And as you start to float, you come closer and closer to the ground, and your bubble opens up. And you come out of the bubble and you see this beautiful property, this beautiful hotel, where you can feel the senses of the beautiful scents around. You see the people welcoming you, smiling at you. And as you enter, you start to wander around and just take a moment to explore. And just to visualize yourself either getting lost in the spa, the restaurant, in the room. And just take a moment here to just feel yourself in this space. Have no expectation, just enjoy it. How does it feel? How does it resonate with you? Continue to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And just allow yourself to smile as you look around at all the different places. And now I want you to just walk out of this beautiful space that you've just entered, whether it was a country house or a hotel or this amazing house that you were in, and just come out and now look for your bubble and enter the bubble again. Allowing yourself to elevate up through the sky, up into the clouds, as you observe the nature, the earth, the birds, the trees. You feel lighter and lighter as you elevate. Continue to feel your soul smiling and releasing any tension. Continue to hold your focus. Feel this energy. And as you come out, you're going to come back down to the ground, slowly bringing your attention back to your awareness. Prepare to leave and come back to your physical body. as you open your eyes, just be grateful for everything that we have and all the memories that we've probably created. And we will be back there very soon. Take a deep inhalation through the nose and a deep exhalation out through the mouth. And now just continue to breathe, lengthening the spine. Bring your hands up above your head, opening up the arms. And I just wanted to share that moment with you guys, as you know, we will be back to normality in a few weeks, and I think we just have to accept, surrender, and just let go of what we're going through at the moment. And I feel like it's very nice for us to actually reflect on the memories and just have a moment of gratitude of everything. I mean, that's what I was doing today, and I thought I would share that with you. And I have an amazing quote for you all from an amazing book that I stumbled upon, which says that you shouldn't complicate life. If you miss someone, call them. If you want to meet up, invite them on Zoom or on Skype. If you want to be understood, explain yourself. If you have any questions, ask. If you don't like something, say it, express it. If you like something, state it. If you want something, ask for it. And if you love someone, tell them, as we've only got one life and we have to keep it simple, and we're in a very basic situation at the moment. So we have to, you know, go back to reality in a way. But yes, I thought I would share that with you all. So yes, let's start flowing. So I want you to rise up if you can, bringing up your hands above your head for me, and we're going to just do some circular motions. I hope you enjoyed the breathing and the meditation. I think that's really important. So when I was doing my teacher training last year, that's what we were taught. We always must do a meditation, do the pranayama before we start any type of movements to ground the energy. Okay, so what I want you to do on the exhale, bring your hands down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, rise the hands up. Exhale, come down. And just really focus on your breath, as yoga is all about uniting. It's all about yoking, so it's all about the breath. Without breathing, yoga doesn't happen. So really activate the arms and continue to inhale and exhale. And just really get some movement into the body. So just move slowly as you get into your rhythm. And now I want you to place your hands on your shoulders. I want you to open up the shoulders going round clockwise and anti-clockwise. And now I want you to raise the hands up above your head, and we're going to go over to the right side. Inhale. Really feel that stretch on your right side. Come back to the center. We go to the left side. Really activate the arms. Feel the stretch on your side. Making sure you're continuing to breathe. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, center. Inhale, left. Okay, perfect. And I want you to extend your hand out in front of you. You can do this on your mat. I'm just standing so you can see me clearly. Extend your right hand out. Point the fingers down to the ground, to the floor. I want you to bring your left hand and push the fingers towards your chest. You can really feel that stretch in your wrist and your lower arm, your lower forearm. It can feel very painful, and I think that's because we never stretch this part of our body. And then do the same on the other side. Extend your left hand, point the fingers down, and push the fingers towards you. Really feel that. Excellent. And now I want you to come down onto your mats, onto all fours for me. And I want you to start so making sure the shoulders are over wrists, knees are in line with the hips. And I want you on the exhale to push up, round the back, really push up, rounding the spine, pushing through the arms. On the exhale, now I want you on the inhale to drop the belly, arch the back, look forward and up. Exhale, round the back, push up through the arms. Drop the belly, look forward and up. And I want you to do that for a few more times. I'm just going to start my playlist for us. Excellent. So now round the back. Really push up through the arms, making sure your hands are strong. And now I want you on the inhale to drop the belly, arch the back, look forward and up. And now I want you just to invite any type of movement into your body. So either pushing back into child's pose, trying to get the big toes to touch together, opening up the hips wide. And doing extended child's pose, lengthening, making sure your forehead is on the mat, push back onto the heels, and then just come forwards and backwards. Just really allow any movement to enter the body, and this is very good to allow the fluids in the spine to really move before we start flowing. So option to go forwards and backwards, or you can do circular motions. So that's also an option. And then I want you to come back to a neutral spine when you're ready, onto all fours. And I want you to extend your right hand out and your left leg backwards, making sure that the toes are pointing downwards and you're activating your core. Really hold. And now I want you to bring the right elbow to your left knee. Inhale, exhale, extend. Inhale, bring the elbow to knee. Exhale, extend. Do that 2 more times. Right elbow to left knee. Exhale, extend. Okay, now we're going to alternate and do that on the other side. Extend the left arm out, right foot is flexed, extending. Really engage your core here. Now bring that left elbow to your right knee. Inhale, exhale, extend. 2 more times. Inhale, bring elbow to knee. Exhale, extend. Perfect. And now what I want you to do is come back to all fours, and I want you to hit the soles of the feet onto the mat. To really activate the feet. Really push down onto the mat. I know it hurts, but it's really good. And now we're going to go into doing some spinal waves. So what I want you to do is hover the knees off the mat, push back to the heels, come round into a plank. Hover the knees back, so we're creating a box. So if you can do that, great. If not, then just sit back in child's pose, come forwards and backwards again. But the spinal waves is amazing as it really opens up your spine and your core activation. So if you can, hover the knees off the mat slightly, push back to the heels. Come back round onto the toes in a plank position. Hover the knees, come down, and you're going back round. So you're creating a spine with your back. Do this for 2 more times, and we're gonna start flowing. Excellent. Hope you're ready. Okay, now I want you to come to the front of your mats for me. I want you to pigeon toe your feet inwards slightly. And I want you to micro bend the knees, making sure you're tucking your tailbone inwards slightly. And I want you to make sure that you externally rotate the shoulders back. Inhale here through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth, rounding the energy. And now on the inhale, I want you to rise the hands up. Ardha Hastasana. Really engage your core. Imagine there's a beach ball in between your hands. Now on the exhale, I want you to fold forwards, plant the hands down onto the mat, Uttanasana. Look towards your navel or to the back of the room. Inhale, halfway lift. Squeeze the shoulder blades, hug the ribs. Exhale, plant the hands down onto the mat and step back into Palakasana, plank position. Now on the inhale, I want you to rise up onto the toes, lengthen. Now on the exhale, I want you to drop the knees onto the mat, untuck the toes, modified Palakasana. Now shift the weight forward slightly. Externally rotate the elbows inwards and come down slowly onto the mat. Untuck the toes, push the pelvic bone into the mat. Make sure your elbows are tightly by your elbows, by your ribs. Tuck the chin in. Now on the inhale, I want you to rise the hands up by your side, Bhujangasana. Exhale, plant the hands down. Inhale, rise up, baby cobra, upward dog. Now on the exhale, I want you to push up into downward facing dog. Making sure that you micro bend your knees slightly. You're pushing your hands into the mat. And what I want you to do is shift the weight from left to right. As this is your first dog, shift the weight slowly, really activating the hamstrings. Now when you're ready, I want you to look forward, step or jump to the front of the mat. And now on the inhale, halfway lift, flat back, lengthen, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, come up to Tadasana, mountain pose. Really tuck the tailbone in, making sure the bum is not sticking out. Active core, hands are active by your sides. That's how you stand in mountain pose. Inhale, rise the hands up above your head. Imagine there's a beach ball in between them. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Look towards your navel or to the back of the room. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Imagine there's a fruit in between them. Exhale, plant the hands down onto the mat. Step or jump to the back into Palakasana, plank position. Hold your plank. Now on the inhale, lengthen, push up onto the toes. Lengthen the plank. Now option here to drop the knees and do the modified Palakasana. Otherwise, externally rotate the elbows in slightly. Now I want you to recline down into Chaturanga. If option here to do your normal Chaturanga, slowly decrease down, untuck the feet, untuck the toes, rise up straight into baby cobra, making sure your thighs are not touching the mat. Inhale, then exhale, push up into downward facing dog. Otherwise, if you're in the modified Palakasana, untuck the toes, shift the weight forward, come down, and then push up, and then come up into downward facing dog. That's your option. Now walk your dog for 3 breaths. And I want you to look forward, step or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Flat back, lengthen, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, rise up. Tadasana, mountain pose. Really tuck the tailbone, hug the ribs in. Now on the inhale, rise the hands up above your head. Reach up, sit low. Imagine there is a chair underneath you, Utkatasana. Really engage your core. Hold here for 2 breaths. Now on the exhale, I want you to fold forwards, plant the hands onto the mat, look towards your navel. Inhale, halfway lift, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, plant the hands down, step back into plank position. Now on the inhale, I want you to rise up onto your toes. Now what I want you to do is bring your right knee to your right elbow. Hold. And then I want you to push your right leg up into the sky, up to the ceiling. And do that again. Bring your right knee to your right elbow. 1. Again, rise the right leg up. Bring that right knee to the left elbow, alternating. Again, rise the right leg up. Bring that right leg to the left elbow. Rise that right leg up again. Then I want you to open up the hip and just do some circular motions with your ankle. Rotate clockwise and anti-clockwise. Now try and bring your heel to your bum as close as possible. Then bring that knee through to the nose, trying to bring that knee to the front of the mat, framing the hands. Option, drop the left knee to the mat, untuck the toes, rise the hands up, crescent lunge. Option 2, to rise up straight into crescent lunge, low lunge, raising the hands up towards the ceiling. Inhale, activate, strong core, strong arms, bring your hands to heart center. And what I want you to do is twist to your right side, so bring your left elbow onto your left forearm, your left elbow onto your right knee and twist. Making sure your right elbow is pointing to the ceiling. Inhale here. Now bring your hands back to heart center and rise the hands up. Now I want you on the exhale to bring the hands under the knee. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold under. Inhale, rise the hands. Exhale, fold under. One more time. Inhale, rise the hands above your head. Exhale, fold under. Inhale, rise the hands. On the exhale, plant the hands back down onto the mat. Step back into plank position. Then I want you now to push back into downward facing dog, making sure you micro bend the knees. You're pushing back through the arms. And now what I want you to do is come back to plank position. Bring your left knee over to the left elbow to touch. Now raise the left leg up to the ceiling. Now bring that left leg to the right elbow to touch. And now bring that left leg up into the sky. Really active foot. Bring that left knee to the left elbow one more time. Inhale. Rise the left leg up, and now open up the hip for me, making sure that you're on your toes on your right. You're on your right toes at the moment. Your hip is opened, and you're going to circular rotate your ankle, your left ankle clockwise, and then anti-clockwise. Now try and bring that heel to your bum as close as possible, and then bring that knee to your nose, bringing that foot forwards onto the mat. Drop your right knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, rise the hands up above your head. Option 2, rise up into high lunge. Otherwise, stay down. If you can't rise, that's not a problem. It's not about the posture, it's all about the alignment and having balance. Now bring your hands to heart center, and I want you to bring your right elbow across over to the left, to sit on your left knee. Your left elbow should be pointing up to the ceiling. Now bring your hands back to heart center, rise the hands up above your head. Exhale, bring the hands under the knee. Inhale, rise the hands up above your head. Exhale, fold the hands under the knee. Inhale, rise the hands up one more time. And now bring the hands back to heart center. Plant the hands down onto the mat. Step back into plank position. Now option here to do a chaturanga. So externally rotate the shoulders in. Recline down slowly. All at the same time, untuck the toes. Shift the weight forwards, tuck the chin in, rise up, baby cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, push up into downward facing dog. Making sure you micro bend the knees slightly, you're pushing the hands strong into the mat. Now I want you to shift the weight into your left foot, rise the right leg up, bring that heel to your bum, knee to your nose, and bring that foot forwards as close as possible to the front of the mat, framing the hands. Now on the inhale, I want you to rise up, and I want you to drop the back foot so it's a 90-degree angle. I'm going to do the other side so I can face you. So we're opening up into warrior two, making sure that you're shifting the weight into your right knee. Really active arms, making sure that you can feel a weight under your arms pushing up. Really tuck the tailbone in, hug the ribs in, shift the weight into your right knee. Inhale, exhale, reverse your warrior, Viparita Virabhadrasana. Exhale, open the warrior, shifting that weight again into that right knee. One more time, reverse your warrior, Viparita Virabhadrasana. Exhale, open. Now what I want you to do is bring your right forearm onto the knee. I want you to bring your back hand down and round and over the head. Making sure your drishti is over the middle finger, your right knee is bent, your back leg is straight, and you can feel that side stretch. Uttita Parsva Konasana. Now option here to bring your right hand, your right palm into the inner side of your foot. Drop it down onto the mat if you can to really feel that stretch. Option three to bind, bringing your right hand behind your back and your left hand under the leg, and clasp the hands behind you. And just breathe. Inhale for 2 breaths. Exhale, now I want you to open up back into warrior two. Slowly activating now, extend that front leg and reach your right hand to touch the ankle. Rise the left hand up, triangle. Breathe here for 2 breaths, inhaling through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. Now I want you to bend that right knee again to come out up into warrior two. Now I want you to pivot, so I want you to extend that leg out, pivot the foot inwards, so we're coming into a wide-legged dog. So I want you to make sure that there's buoyancy in the knees, making sure that they're bent, they're not extended. Bring your hands on your hips, and I want you to make sure they're slightly bent, and we're going to fold forward slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. Option here to grab onto the ankles, or you can bring the palms of the hands, place them on the mat. Option two. Option three, clasp the hands behind your back, making sure you don't overextend them, and bring them behind you. So you've got 3 options here, otherwise you can grab onto the big toes. In Ashtanga Yoga, we grab the big toes and we fold forwards. Hold for 2 breaths. Now bring your hands back to your hips. Inhale, rise up slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, making sure you do not damage your back, injure yourself. Now I want you to pivot the left foot out, depending on what foot you had. We're going to do the other side. So what I want you to do is shift the weight into your left knee. Open up into warrior two. So making sure your back foot is in a 90-degree angle, straight. Your left knee is bent, and you're shifting the weight, making sure you're tucking the tailbone in, hugging the ribs in. Active arms. Exhale, reverse your warrior, Viparita Virabhadrasana. Exhale, open your warrior. One more time. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, open. Now bring that left elbow onto left knee. Scoop the backhand down and round and over the head. Utthita Parsvakonasana. Again, look towards your middle finger. Really feel that side stretch. Exhale, open up into Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Really feel you're a strong warrior. No one can defeat you from underneath. And now again, bring that left elbow, that left forearm back onto the knee. Bring that backhand down and round and over the head. Utthita Parsvakonasana. Really hug the ribs in, feel the side stretch. Now, option, open up into Warrior 2. Extend your left knee so it's straight. Try to grab onto the ankle. Open up into triangle. Really feel that stretch. Inhale through the nose. Now on the exhale, I want you to bend the knee, bend that left knee. Bring your left hand, the palm onto the mat, on your inner side of your foot. And really push down into the mat, making sure that your right hand is up, facing up towards the ceiling. Really engage, inhale. Exhale, come up. Extend that left leg straight. Bend it again and shift into Warrior 2. Exhale. Now I want you to pivot that foot in. Again, rise the hands up. And now bring them back onto the hips and we're going to fold forward slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. Grabbing onto the ankles, placing the palms onto the mat, or clasping the hands. If you want to feel a deeper stretch, bring the hands behind your back, making sure you do not overextend the elbows. Hold for 2 breaths. And now bring the hands back to the hips, rise up slowly. Now I want you to pivot the opposite leg out. So if you was on the left, you're going to do the right now. And I want you to open up a warrior, but a diagonal warrior. So open up the arms, shifting the weight again into the right knee, opening up. Really strong. Activate. Now pivot that right foot in slightly, making sure there's buoyancy in the knees. And I want you to create a ball of energy with your hands. Close your eyes and really feel that there's a ball of energy here. This helps to regulate the qi gong. Now I want you to pivot the left foot out and we're going to open out on the exhale. Reverse the warrior again. Diagonal arms this time. Activating the core muscles. Look towards your hands. Imagine that the swords, you're opening up. You're actively opening your hands. Shifting the weight into that left knee. Now pivot that left foot in. Regulate the qi. Create a ball of energy. As you come to the center, exhale. Now pivot the right foot out and open up your warrior again. On the other side, diagonal arms. Reach for the sky. Imagine you're opening up, strong. Now pivot that foot in. Again, regulate your qi. Exhale. Really active, strong. Lengthen the spine. Pivot that foot out, open up the warrior, strong. Really shift the weight into that knee, into that left knee. Back leg is straight, open up diagonal arms. Drishti is towards your middle finger. Again, pivot the foot in. Come to the middle, exhale. Regulate your qi as you create this ball of energy. As you can feel it, connect with your soul. One more, pivot the foot out on the other side, open up. Shifting that weight into that right knee, hugging the ribs, squeezing, activating. Pivot that foot in, create the ball of energy as you exhale. And now pivot your left foot out. I want you to make sure that there's 2 feet distance apart. So we're going to make sure that there's buoyancy in the knees as we're going to go into a pyramid pose. So what I want you to do, make sure the back leg is straight, front knee is slightly bent. And we're going to fold forwards. Option here is to grab onto the ankle. Option 2, place your fingertips onto the mat and try to reach forwards, trying to place your head onto your knee. So we're trying to fold forwards. Option, again, another option is to create a prayer position with your hands behind your back for a deeper stretch. So you have 3 options here, depending on what's in your practice. Now, on the inhale, I want you to raise your back leg up into warrior 3. So what I want you to do is to raise the leg up behind you, bringing your hands behind you, like you're flying, making sure that you are shifting the weight into your right or your left front foot, that standing foot, and raise your back leg, squeezing the glutes. And now on the inhale, bring that leg forwards. So if it's your right foot, your right knee, bring it up towards you. I'm going to face you. Place your, so if it's your left, I'm going to start with my left knee up. So placing the left hand on your left knee, right hand onto your hip. Exhale, open up the hip. We're going into Vrikkanasana, tree pose. Inhale to close. Exhale to open. Exhale to close. And now as you open, I want you to place the bottom of your sole of your foot on your bottom calf, making sure your hips are square, your standing leg is straight and grounded, opening up the toes. Avoid the knee. Option 2, to place the sole of the foot on the upper thigh. And I want you to bring your hands out, either in prayer or above your head. Focus your drishti in the room, somewhere in the room, and just hold here for a few breaths. Hands in mudra if this helps. Bring your hands back to heart center. And then bring your leg back up. And option here, if you wanted to do Garudasana, eagle pose, wrap that leg around the other leg. So option to raise the leg back up, wrap it round the right leg. Otherwise, bring your big toe. If you can't wrap it round, bring the big toe to touch the mat. So if you're doing the left leg wrapped around, we're going to get the right hand and wrap it around the left. And we're going to shift the weight forwards. Hold for 2 breaths. And now on the exhale, really come up. Release, unravel, and just shift the weight from left to right in both feet. If there's any tension, shake it out. And now we're going to repeat that on the other side. So make sure that your left leg is grounded into the mat. Raise the right leg up. Place your right hand on your right knee, left hand on your hip. Active foot. Exhale, open. Inhale to close. Exhale to open. Inhale to close. Now on the exhale, as you open, bring the sole of your foot to the bottom calf, avoiding the knee. Otherwise, option 2, to bring the sole of the foot to the upper calf, if that's in your practice. Bring your hands to heart center. Otherwise, option 2, to grow your tree. Making sure that you find your drishti in the room. Bring your hands above into prayer, above your head if you can. Option to open up into mudra, or just stay with your hands to heart center and just focus your drishti. Now I want you to release the leg, bring it up towards you. that right leg, and I want you to wrap the right leg over the left. Trying to get it over, otherwise just make sure that your big toe is on the mat. Now bring your left arm around to the right, creating a twist with the arms, trying to get the hands to touch together. And now I want you just to fold forwards and come down into Garudasana. Hold for a few breaths here. It does take practice, and it's all about your concentration. And now I want you to rise up slowly, unravel. Well done. Shake it all out. Excellent. You may feel a bit stiff or some tension. You may be wobbly. That's normal. It's all about practice. So now I want you to come down into a goddess pose. So just open up the legs. Place the palms, the soles of the feet are flat on the ground. And just bring your hands to heart center. So we're basically doing a squat. Okay, and I want you to rise the heel, the left heel off the mat, coming up onto your toes. And I just want you to alternate this on the other side. So we're going to do this for a few pulses. Rise the right heels off the mat and then the left. And you should really feel that in your hips and your glutes and your thighs. Perfect. And now what I want you to do is to come down, all the way down to the mat. So try and get as low as you can. I want you to bring your arms, so the upper part of your arms, to push out towards your knees, pushing them out wider. Bring your hands to heart center, creating length with your spine, sitting upright, Malasana, yogi squat. And it's funny because we find this really hard because you don't actually do this. But in India, they sit like this all the time. So yes, just breathe here, but this is really good to open up your hips. If you've got tight hamstrings and hips, this is great. Otherwise, if you can't put the soles of the feet on the mat, just come up onto your toes, but make sure you lengthen your spine. Brilliant. Now what I want you guys to do, come up, and we're going to just come down onto the knees here for me. And we're going to do Ustrasana, which is camel pose. So we're going to just do a pose to open up the chest. So again, if this is in your practice, if you can come back slowly. So please let me know if anyone's got any injuries, if there's any back injuries. I do not advise anyone to do this. So I hope everyone is fine. Otherwise you can just lean back a little bit, slowly just opening up. But if it is in a part of your practice, then what you can do is lean back slowly and then bring your hands to touch the backs of your ankles, your fingertips, doesn't have to be the whole hand. Place them on the ankles, on the back of your ankle, and just open up the chest. Hold for 2 breaths. And now come up, placing your hands on the sacrum slowly, and release up. And now what I want you to do is to come down onto the mat, opening up the legs wide, bringing the 2 big toes to touch at the back, and we're going to go into child's pose to counteract that position that we just did. So really extend the arms in front of you, place the forehead on the mat and just sit back into child's pose for a few breaths. Just to counteract that pose that we just did. Inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. Continue your breathing. Option 2, for a deeper stretch, you can create a shark fin behind your back as you're in child's pose, which really helps to open up your shoulders and your arms. And now what I want you to do is to recline down onto the mat, so bringing your chest and your stomach onto the mat. We're going to extend the legs and extend the hands in front of you. And we're going to go and do locust position, but we're going to first start off by doing Superman. So what I want you to do is to tuck the chin in to avoid any injury from the chin. And I want you to rise your hands off the mat and your legs off the mat. Your thighs are still touching the mat, but your feet are off the mat and the bottom calves are, and your hands are. So on the inhale, I want you to rise up, making sure your chin is tucked in. Exhale, release, come back down. And now on the inhale, I want you to do that one more time. Inhale, rise the hands off the mat. Rise the legs off the mat. Chin is tucked in. And you're basically elevating your spine and your core muscles here. Exhale, release. Now, if this is in your practice, I want you to bend your knees and try to grab at the same time. Grab your ankles, making sure that your chin is tucked in. Grab both ankles. Now on the inhale, what I want you to do is to lift the chest off the mat and raise the belly slightly off the mat as well. If you can, lifting the chest up and pulling your hands to reach your feet to the backs of your feet. Lift up. Your thighs shouldn't be off the mat too much. Inhale and then exhale, release, come down. Drop the knees down, release the legs, release the hands in front of you, and rest your right cheek onto the mat. We're going to do that one more time. Get ready, so bend when you've taken a few breaths. Option, you can stay in child's pose anytime. Otherwise, option to do it again. Bend the knees, grabbing both ankles or the soles of your feet. Tuck the chin in. And now on the inhale, I want you to raise the chest up and raise up, pushing your pelvic bone into the mat. Inhale. Exhale, come down, release. Release the thighs, release the legs. Untuck the legs, unbend them. And now just come down onto the mat, placing your left cheek onto the mat. And just release everything. Take a few inhalations and exhalations. And now what I want you to do when you're ready, push back into child's pose again. Really activating the arms in front of you, forearm is to mat. And as you come out of that position, come back onto all fours, shift the weight over to the right side, swing your legs around to the front of the mat. Inhale, rise the hands up above your head. Make sure your knees are slightly micro-bended, as we're going to do a Paschimottanasana, forward fold. So inhale, rise the hands up. Make sure the knees are slightly micro-bend, and on the exhale, fold forwards. Either option here to grab onto the backs of the feet, ankles, as you don't have to touch your toes. This is all about bending forwards. Active feet. Hold here for a few breaths. And now rise up slowly. And now what I want you to do is bend your right knee, placing your right foot inside. And what we're going to do, I want you to bring your right hand